Hey everyone, welcome back. So today we'll be taking a look at game 8, I believe. Um, a slight change today though. This was a classical game, so 30-minute and 0-second increment. We can see on the left that my rating at the start of this game was 1633, but there is a question mark at the end. My I hadn't played classical in probably like over a year. I'm pretty sure I hadn't played classical in over a year, so I have an interrogation mark, and of course I've gotten much better since. And I guess last time I played I was 1600. But I've played a few games since, and I believe that my current rating in classical is I went back down to 1854, but I was at 1900. And I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to show you guys all these games. I had some pretty heartbreaking defeats against some like really strong players, like 2,000 rated players in Rapid. So very strong. Anyway, so this was an E4 and a French defense. We got knight f3, d5, and then opponent played e5. Which is a slight inaccuracy because I get c5, and now the idea is that if he goes d4 I can just take, and if he goes like c3 d4, then I think that plan is just better for me, because I have ideas like bishop b4 forcing a piece in front of his king, and there's lines where I can win the pawn on d4. So although opponent went d4, I mean this is a 1600 in the classical, so 1488 in Rapid. So I mean he hung on for a while, because yeah, I'll show you guys the game, but I played a nearly perfect game. Yes, so I took on d4, and then he took with the knight, and then here I went knight c6, and he played bishop b5, and at first this doesn't look good. Some of you may be wondering, queen a5 doesn't do anything because there's knight c3. Not to say that I'm not threatening to take the bishop, because it's already defended by the d4 knight. Anyways, here you just go bishop d7 is the best move, and here another slight inaccuracy by him. He takes with the bishop, and now even if he took with the knight, I was going to take with the pawn, because you usually this is like the dream French. If I can play c5, and then I have like this diagonal for my bishop, like this is just amazing for me. And then here my opponent, so like yeah, already out of the opening I'm minus 0.5 on move 7 in the French defense. That means my opponent's opening went wrong. And then he played another bad move, bishop f4, trying to hang on to his pawn. Even f4 would have been better here. Even f4 is better. He just has to be careful with his king, because once he castles, then this diagonal is pretty vulnerable. Probably f4 is not good. Yeah, it's even the worst. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, f4 is terrible because his king is so open. So he went bishop f4 though, which is just not a good move. c4 is best, trying to disrupt my pawn chain. And then yeah, so he went bishop f4, and then I just played c5, and we got knight back to knight f3. Then I went knight d7, so very standard. Looking at f5, g6, c6. Probably g6 looks like a really juicy square because it attacks both the bishop and the pawn. So he castles, and then knight g6. Bishop g3, so saving the bishop. And then here I went for bishop e7, so just trying to get myself castled. Rook e1, and then castles. And here he played b3, which is weird. I don't understand b3 here. Yes, well obviously clearly he's trying to play for c4, but c4 is not scary because I thought I just had d4 and then my bishop can come alive. And yeah, so but here c4 is not a huge threat, so I went for h5, which looked like a really good move, and it is one of the top computer moves. At least when analyzing, this was one of the main ideas that the computer wanted me to play, because now I'm threatening to trap the bishop, because the h4 square would be defended twice and the bishop wouldn't have any squares. So here, forcing him to react, so he goes h3, and then I played h4 and bishop h2, and then here I played queen c7, so really putting some pressure on that e5 pawn. So very thematic in the French. I mean, my position is good. It's almost like -1 here. I mean, this is a lower rated opponent, and I have a lot of experience in these positions, so I find that the thing about playing the French, like every time someone plays e4 against me, is that I've encountered probably everything. So I know how to punish mistakes because I look it up after the games, right? So like if you don't play like if you don't know theory in the French against me, like I'm just gonna punish the mistakes, you know, because I have so much experience in this opening. Yeah, so queen c7, and now just putting pressure on e5. Of course, I'm not threatening to take it yet, but queen c7 is just a nice developing move, connecting the rooks and getting the queen off the back rank. Then here he goes c4, and I just went d4, which the computer doesn't like. Computer liked takes, and then bishop c6 for some reason. But I don't see why I would do this. To me, it seems a lot more logical to go d4. And then what did he play? He played knight bd2, and now I went bishop c6. Because now I have a passed pawn. And my bishop is has been activated. So now both my bishops are good. So this is why, excuse me. So you can tell his opening went extremely wrong if my light squared bishop is this strong in the French on move 17, right? So here he played knight to e4, which is not a bad move, just trying to centralize the knight. Then I played rook a c8. So rook a c8, not a great move. Yeah, okay. I mean, rook a c8, I think I was kind of just trying to figure out a plan and a way forward here. So I went rook c8. I think I was looking at lines where this pawn could end up being weak. So I just wanted it to be protected. And then he played queen d2, and I played queen b7, so targeting the knight. Just putting a lot of pressure down this diagonal. And then queen d3, defending the knight. Then I played rook f to d8. Computer wanted a5 right away. But I started rook f d8. And then here he played just rook a d1. Yeah, he played rook a d1. And now here I went, I kind of saw a ghost here. I could have just gone a5 right away, but I went rook a8 first, and then I wanted to go for a5, which is I could have just gone a5 right away. Oh, but then yeah, because okay, I get it, because I wanted to recapture with the rook, because then I'd be really pressuring everything. So yeah. So here he's kind of just shuffling, he's not doing much, just queen e2. And now after a5, so for some reason the computer wanted me to trade everything. The computer wanted bishop takes c4, queen takes c4, queen takes c4, rook takes c4, and then a5, and then thought that the endgame was just very pleasant. But I mean, I just have so much pressure on this diagonal. From a human perspective, it's just better to keep the pieces on the board. So after a5, he played rook d3, which, I mean, he's just shuffling around. He has no plan here. So he has no play on the king side, because I'm kind of just not allowing him to move any pieces here, because if, let's say, he tries Yeah, I mean, this diagonal is just so strong, and it's just very hard for him to move his pieces. So he went rook d3, so doesn't do much, and then I continued my plan with a4. And now, of course, if b5, could he have gone b5 here? No, because I can just take, yeah. So probably just plopping the knight in. Computer wants here, and then just like queen b6. But like position is just really bad. So after a5, he takes, and now I get some really, really nice pressure. Now he goes a3, almost making it easier for me. In fact, this move immediately gives me queen a6, which is a fork. And now he went queen c2, and here I can take on a3. Yeah, I can just take on a3, and then he took, and I took, and this is minus 3.5 by now, because I'm just infiltrating. Look at my pieces. And then he played queen d2. Again, doesn't do anything. And now here I played rook b8, so maybe looking to get in with rook b2, maybe rook b4 ideas. And then here he played bishop f4. Yeah, here he played bishop f4. And of course, if I take, then he can probably take this pawn. And that's probably not very good, so of course you don't take. Computer wanted no. Excuse me. So in this position, I think it's rook b2 the move. But I played queen a8, which is just, talk about a gorgeous move. Queen a8 is just so, look at the coordination of my pieces here. Like, this is just so strong. Like, my pieces are just, like, it's minus, I'm only up a pawn here, but it's minus 0.4. So, like, I just, like, positionally, like, he's just frozen. Like, he has no good moves. So he tries knight eg5. Also, I should mention that here I'm obviously threatening to take the knight, and if he moves the knight back, let's say he moves the knight back, then takes, and I win a pawn, and then his bishop is under attack. So let's just say can't even go here. He'd have to go like here, and I can probably just take, and this is obviously completely losing. So the only move is he can try to defend the knight with the knight. So either with knight here or knight here. So in the game he played knight eg5, but let's go over knight g5 first. So if he goes here, then I can simply chop off the knight, and of course if bishop takes, I win a piece. And then if knight takes, I can win the pawn here, and this is very bad because this is gonna fall as well. My queen is coming in whenever the knight moves, and yeah, I mean all my pieces are just swarming him. This looks just terrible for him. I mean everything is bad here though, nothing. Yeah, but then but then he went here, but it's the same concept. I can just chop the knight off, and if he takes with the f knight, I take on g2. So in the game he played bishop takes, but that's even worse because I can just take on f3 and win a pawn, and now this is attacked. So he tried king to h2, but then king h2 I played rook b3, just a killer move. And now I don't even see a way to defend against the h3. Computer says queen a2, then let's say takes here. Yeah, I mean computer is made in 13. Computer is just, there are no moves here. So he sacrificed the bishop, but then I just played d takes, and then he took back like this, and then I played queen G3. Oh yeah, I played Queen G3 check. And then only move is King H1. And now Queen takes H3. Oh yeah, this was a really nice find, yeah. So, of course, so now I can't take the pawn directly. But if I go Queen G3 and then he has to go here, then I have this. And then he played King G1, which gives me, I think I played a really nice move here. I played Knight F4. And with Knight F4, the idea is, if takes, this is check. Oh no, it's not checkmate. Oh, there's this, and at the very least I win the queen. Yeah, but it's probably just, yeah, no, this would just be mate. So, after Knight F4, you can't take it because it leads to mate. And also, I mean, I'm just coming in with my pieces, and now he tried Queen D8. I just went King H7. Now he went Queen G5, which simply allows for Rook takes C3. Then he traded the rooks, check, King to H1. Then I just played Queen F3 here, and then I played Queen. What did I play? I played Queen H3. Queen H3. Now he's forced to go back, and I think, yeah, I just traded the queens here. And then let's say King F1 here, and he went to, oh, sorry. Yeah, so he went here. Oh yeah, and then I just started to bring my king. I didn't push yet, so I'm just bringing my king, and now through King G1, he went to F1, King H4, King G1, King H3, and now King F1, and now you can, well, I just King H2, and I think he resigned around here. He played King E1, and I pushed and he resigned. Yeah. So yeah, so very nice game. I played with 97% accuracy, so 0 inaccuracies, 0 mistakes, and 0 blunders. I mean, my opponent did play very poorly. It says he played with 91% accuracy, but it just felt like he didn't make like any obvious like blunders. He didn't like blunder a full piece or anything, but just a lot of positional mistakes. So this was just a positional grind that ended in total domination. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this was instructive, and I hope to provide more classical content because these games are very high quality, and this was a relatively straightforward game, but I've played some really complicated games since with really strong players, so I can hopefully show you guys in the next video. So yeah, thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you guys next time.